Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to take a moment and think about the world we live in. Most people are walking through life on autopilot, moving with the crowd, playing it safe, doing just enough to get by. But let me tell you something. The life you dream of, the one that's calling your name, is not found on the crowded path. It's found where the 99% won't go. The 99% settle. They settle for excuses, for distractions, for fear. They settle for comfort zones where their dreams shrink to fit a life they didn't even choose. But you, sitting here listening to my voice, you have a choice. When the 99% quit after the first failure, you keep going. When the 99% say it's too hard, you say it's worth it. When the 99% take shortcuts, you take the long, hard road. Because you know that the struggle is where greatness is born. Do what the 99% are not doing. Wake up early, stay late, put in the work when no one is watching, learn when others are relaxing, take risks when others are afraid. Stand tall in the face of rejection and let it fuel your fire. Listen, you see, the difference between those who live their dreams and those who just dream is action. Relentless, unapologetic action. The kind of action that makes people think you're crazy. But let me tell you, every trailblazer, every game changer, every history maker was called crazy until they weren't. Yeah. So don't just follow the rules the 99% follow. Rewrite them. Don't just aim to fit in, aim to stand out. Don't just live a life, build a legacy. Yes, it's going to be hard. Yes, you'll face doubts, failures, and setbacks. But every step you take in the opposite direction of the 99% brings you closer to the life you were meant to live. So my question to you is simple. Are you ready? Are you ready to step up, to stand out, and to do what the 99% are not doing? Because the world is waiting for you. It's waiting for your courage, your commitment, your fire. The path to greatness is narrow and few will take it. But you're not like the rest. You're the one who dares to dream bigger, work harder, and push further. Now, go. Be bold, be relentless, and don't ever stop until you become the person you were born to be. Success is found beyond comfort zones. Greatness lies where most people are too afraid to go. If you want extraordinary results, you must step out of the ordinary and embrace the challenges that others avoid. Turn failures into fuel. When the 99% quit after failure, the 1% use it as fuel to keep going. Every setback is a setup for a comeback. Stay relentless. That was Gary Webster talking to me about negative self-talk. Take the road less traveled. Avoid shortcuts and instant gratification. True success is forged on the long, difficult path that requires discipline, patience, and unwavering effort. Be unapologetically different. Don't aim to fit in, aim to stand out. Dare to rewrite the rules, challenge norms, and embrace the uniqueness that makes you unforgettable. Action separates dreamers from doers. Dreams without action are just fantasies. Relentless, consistent effort, especially when no one is watching, is the hallmark of those who achieve greatness. Live to build a legacy. Focus on more than just living a life. Strive to leave a mark. Make choices today that will echo through time and inspire others long after you're gone. In life, the comfort zone is a seductive trap. It's warm, familiar, and deceptively safe. It's where routines thrive, where risks are minimized, and where expectations are rarely exceeded. But here's the hard truth. Nothing extraordinary grows in the comfort zone. The life you dream of, the success you crave, and the person you're destined to become all lie far beyond the boundaries of comfort. To understand why success demands stepping out of the comfort zone, you must first recognize its limitations. When you stay within familiar surroundings, you stop growing. Growth is the byproduct of challenge, and challenge exists only when you venture into the unknown. Imagine a tree planted in a tiny pot. No matter how rich the soil, the roots can't expand, and the tree can't reach its full potential. The same is true for you. Your talents, your ideas, and your ambition need space to grow. And that space is found only when you stretch yourself beyond what feels easy. The journey out of your comfort zone is uncomfortable. That's the point. It's about doing things that scare you, facing challenges that test you, and putting yourself in situations where failure is a possibility. It's waking up earlier than you want to, making sacrifices when it's inconvenient, and saying yes to opportunities that intimidate you. This discomfort is not a sign of weakness. It's a sign of transformation. Every time you push past fear, you gain strength. Every time you face uncertainty, you build resilience. Think about the moments in life that have shaped you the most. Chances are they weren't moments of ease or predictability. Maybe it was a time when you had to take on a role you weren't sure you could handle. Or maybe it was a decision to pursue something risky, a career move, a relationship, or a personal goal. Those moments, as difficult as they may have been, forced you to grow. They stretched your limits, taught you lessons, and revealed capabilities you didn't know you had. Success requires that you seek out those moments deliberately. It means saying no to complacency and yes to growth, even when growth hurts. It means embracing the fear of failure because the alternative, staying stagnant, is far worse. The truth is, the comfort zone offers the illusion of safety, but staying there guarantees only one thing: regret. Regret for the opportunities you didn't take, the risks you avoided, and the potential you never fulfilled. When you choose to step beyond the comfort zone, you align yourself with the principles of progress. You begin to see failure not as the opposite of success, but as a stepping stone toward it. You start to view challenges not as threats, but as opportunities to evolve. And most importantly, you discover that your limits are far beyond what you once believed. The process of breaking free from comfort is ongoing. It's not a one-time leap, but a series of daily choices. Every day, you're presented with decisions: to push a little harder, to take a chance, to lean into discomfort. Each of these choices adds up. They build momentum. They turn you into someone who doesn't just survive challenges, but thrives in them. So if you're looking for success, stop searching in the comfort zone. It's not there. It's waiting for you on the other side of fear, in the space where you're unsure of yourself, where you might stumble, and where nothing is guaranteed. Because it's in that space where life truly begins. Failure. The very word makes most people flinch. It's a label they avoid at all costs, a shadow they run from. But here's the thing about failure. It's not the enemy. It's the teacher, the motivator, and the necessary ingredient for success. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't lies not in how often they fail, but in how they respond to it. When most people encounter failure, they stop. They internalize it as a sign that they're not good enough, not smart enough, or not capable enough. They treat it as a dead end, a final verdict on their dreams. But for the few who achieve greatness, failure is not a stopping point, it's a starting point. It's not the end of the road, it's a detour. One that offers lessons, insights, and opportunities to grow. Forgettable 1. The first step in turning failure into fuel is reframing how you see it. Failure is not proof that you're unworthy, it's proof that you're trying. It means you're in the game, taking risks and pushing boundaries. If you never fail, you're not aiming high enough. The person who never stumbles is the person who never moves. Third step, eliminate the word. Think about some of the most successful people in history. Thomas Edison failed thousands of times before inventing the light bulb. Each failure wasn't a defeat, it was data. He famously said, "I have not failed. I've just found 1,000,000 ways that won't work." That mindset, seeing failure as feedback, is what separates the extraordinary from the ordinary. Every failure carries a lesson, but only if you're willing to look for it. Looking back, ask yourself, what went wrong? What could I have done differently? What did I learn about myself, about the process, or about the goal? These questions transform failure from a source of frustration into a source of insight. They allow you to adjust your approach, refine your strategy, and come back stronger. Failure also builds resilience. Each time you fail and get back up, you become tougher, more determined, and more capable of handling future challenges. Resilience is like a muscle. It grows with use. And the more resilient you become, the less afraid you are to take risks, knowing that even if you fall, you'll rise again. Using failure as fuel also requires a long-term perspective. In the moment, failure stings. It can feel like a setback or even a disaster. But in the grand scheme of your journey, it's just one step on the path to success. When you look back years later, you'll realize that those moments of failure were pivotal. They shaped you, redirected you, and prepared you for the opportunities that eventually came your way. Most importantly, failure teaches you to value perseverance. It's easy to keep going when things are smooth, but true character is revealed when the road gets rough. The ability to persist in the face of failure is what sets winners apart. It's the grit to keep trying, to keep believing, and to keep moving forward, no matter how many times you fall. So don't fear failure, embrace it. Let it challenge you, teach you, and refine you. Use it as fuel to ignite your determination, to sharpen your focus, and to propel you toward your goals. In every aspect of life, there's a well-trodden path that most people follow. It's the path of least resistance, the path society says is safe and smart. It's the path where expectations are clear, risks are minimal, and outcomes are predictable. But if you want something extraordinary, if you want a life that stands out, you can't afford to follow that path. You have to take the road less traveled. Number 1. The road less traveled isn't easy. It's filled with uncertainty, challenges, and moments that test your resolve. It requires you to venture into the unknown, to make decisions without guarantees, and to trust your instincts when others doubt you. But it's also where the most rewarding experiences are found. When you choose the less obvious path, you open yourself up to possibilities most people will never see. Greg, taking the road less traveled begins with rejecting conformity. It's about questioning the status quo and asking yourself, is this really what I want? Or is this what I've been told I should want? The truth is, most people settle for the life others expect of them. They choose careers, relationships, and routines that align with societal norms but don't align with their true desires. To break free, you have to stop worrying about fitting in and start focusing on what sets your soul on fire. This road demands courage because it often means standing alone. When you decide to do something unconventional, whether it's starting a business, pursuing a creative passion, or choosing a lifestyle that defies norms, you may face criticism, skepticism, and even ridicule. People may call you impractical or reckless. But remember, the greatest innovations, movements, and successes in history were achieved by people who dared to go against the grain. On the road less traveled, you'll encounter failures, detours, and obstacles that make you question if you made the right choice. This is where many give up and turn back. But those who persevere discover that these challenges are not roadblocks. They are stepping stones. Every setback teaches you something new. Every obstacle strengthens your character, and every detour reveals opportunities you didn't expect. This path also requires a willingness to take risks. Success on the road less traveled doesn't come from playing it safe. It comes from taking calculated risks, from betting on yourself when the odds aren't in your favor, and from being willing to fail in the pursuit of something greater. The fear of failure keeps most people on the beaten path, but those who embrace risk understand that failure is just part of the process. Choosing the road less traveled means embracing uncertainty. It means letting go of the need to control every outcome and instead focusing on the journey itself. The beauty of this path is that it's full of surprises. You'll discover strengths you didn't know you had, meet people who inspire and challenge you, and uncover passions that bring your life deeper meaning. The rewards of taking the road less traveled are profound. It's not just about achieving success. It's about living authentically. It's about creating a life that reflects who you truly are, not who the world expects you to be. It's about knowing that every step you take is aligned with your purpose, even when the way forward isn't clear. Execute your purpose. This is your call. In a world that often rewards conformity, being unapologetically different is an act of courage. It's about embracing your individuality, owning your uniqueness, and refusing to shrink yourself to fit into someone else's expectations. The truth is, the people who make the greatest impact are rarely the ones who blend in. They're the ones who stand out. To be unapologetically different, you first have to know who you are. This requires deep self-reflection and honesty. What are your passions? What are your values? What makes you feel alive? Too often people suppress these answers to fit in with the crowd. They hide their true selves out of fear of judgment or rejection. But being different starts with the decision to stop hiding and start showing up as your authentic self. Remember, when you choose to be unapologetically different, you give up the need for approval. This is one of the hardest parts because humans are wired to seek validation. We want to be liked, accepted, and understood. But if you live your life chasing approval, you'll end up living someone else's dream instead of your own. Being different means being okay with not being liked by everyone. It means valuing your authenticity over acceptance. It is standing out isn't just about being unique for the sake of it. It's about bringing your unique perspective, talents, and ideas to the table. It's about daring to think differently, speak differently, and act differently, even when it's easier to go along with the majority. History is full of individuals who changed the world not by following the rules, but by breaking them. They didn't apologize for their ideas, their vision, or their way of doing things, and neither should you. Of course, being different comes with challenges. People may misunderstand you, criticize you, or try to bring you down. It's human nature to resist what we don't understand, and your uniqueness may make others uncomfortable. But this resistance is a sign that you're doing something right. If no one is questioning or challenging you, you're probably playing it too safe. Being unapologetically different also means embracing your imperfections. Too often, people try to be perfect because they think it will make them more acceptable. But perfection is an illusion, and striving for it only leads to stress and self-doubt. Instead, focus on being real. Embrace your flaws, own your mistakes, and let your humanity shine through. People are drawn to authenticity, not perfection. The beauty of being different is that it inspires others to do the same. When you have the courage to be yourself, you give others permission to do the same. Your authenticity becomes a light that encourages others to step into their own truth. In this way, being unapologetically different isn't just about you. It's about creating a ripple effect that changes the world. So don't dim your light to make others comfortable. Don't water down your ideas to fit into someone else's mold. Don't apologize for being bold, creative, or unconventional. The world doesn't need more people who fit in. It needs more people who stand out. Be proud of who you are and never compromise your authenticity for the sake of acceptance. Your difference is your strength. Own it unapologetically. Expanding key point 5, action separates dreamers from doers. Dreams are powerful. They inspire, ignite passion, and give life meaning. But dreams alone are not enough. The difference between those who merely dream and those who achieve lies in one simple thing: action. Action transforms ideas into reality, hope into progress, and potential into achievement. Without action, a dream is nothing more than a wish, floating in the air without purpose or direction. Taking action starts with a decision. It's the decision to move beyond thinking, planning, and envisioning and to step into doing. Many people get stuck in the comfort of dreaming because action feels risky. What if I fail? What if I'm not good enough? These doubts hold countless people back, leaving their dreams untouched and unrealized. But those who succeed understand that action is the antidote to fear. The moment you take that first step, no matter how small, the fear begins to lose its power. Action is what separates the talkers from the achievers. You've likely met people who talk endlessly about their big ideas, their grand plans, and their ambitious goals. But how many of those people actually follow through? How many turn their words into tangible results? Talking is easy, doing is hard. Doing requires discipline, persistence, and the willingness to face obstacles head-on. Action also requires consistency. It's not enough to act once and then sit back waiting for results. Success comes from showing up every day, even when you don't feel like it, even when progress seems slow, and even when the odds are stacked against you. Consistent action compounds over time, turning small, seemingly insignificant steps into massive leaps forward. One of the biggest challenges in taking action is overcoming the fear of imperfection. Many people wait for the perfect moment, the perfect plan, or the perfect conditions before they act. But perfection is an illusion, and waiting for it is just another form of procrastination. The truth is, you don't have to have everything figured out to start. Start where you are, with what you have, and let the process teach you along the way. Taking action also means being willing to fail. Failure is not the end, it's a step on the path to success. Every action, even if it doesn't lead to the desired outcome, brings you closer to your goal by teaching you what works and what doesn't. The most successful people in the world are not those who avoided failure, but those who embraced it, learned from it, and used it to grow. Action is about prioritizing progress over excuses. It's easy to come up with reasons why now isn't the right time, or why something might not work. But excuses are the enemy of progress. If you wait for the stars to align, you'll be waiting forever. The people who achieve their dreams are the ones who act despite the excuses, who move forward even when the conditions aren't ideal. Finally, action is empowering. The more you do, the more confident you become in your ability to achieve. Each step forward builds momentum, creating a cycle of effort and reward that propels you closer to your goals. Action gives you control over your destiny. It shifts you from being a passive observer of your life to an active creator of it. Number 6. So if you want to turn your dreams into reality, stop waiting and start doing. Take that first step, no matter how small, and then take another. Because in the end, it's not what you dream that defines your life. It's what you do. Expanded key point 6. Live to build a legacy. Life is fleeting, a collection of moments that pass faster than we realize. But while time may be limited, its impact is not. The way you live, the choices you make, and the values you uphold have the power to create a ripple effect that extends far beyond your lifetime. This is the essence of building a legacy, living a life that matters, not just for yourself, but for those who come after you. Building a legacy begins with defining your purpose. It's about understanding what truly matters to you and aligning your actions with those values. Too many people drift through life without a clear sense of direction, chasing temporary pleasures or societal expectations. But those who build legacies are intentional. They live with purpose, driven by a vision that extends beyond their own personal success. Your legacy is not built in grand, sweeping gestures. It's built in the everyday moments. It's in the kindness you show to others, the integrity you bring to your work, and the example you set through your actions. It's in the way you treat people when no one is watching, the way you rise after failure, and the way you handle challenges with grace. These small, consistent actions leave a lasting impression on the people around you. To live for a legacy means focusing on contribution over consumption. The world often tells us that success is about how much we can accumulate, money, possessions, accolades. But true success lies in how much we can give. It's about using your talents, resources, and influence to make a positive impact. Whether it's mentoring someone, supporting a cause, or creating something that inspires others, your contributions have the power to outlive you. Legacy is also about relationships. The connections you build with others are some of the most enduring aspects of your life. Your legacy is reflected in how you make people feel, the love and support you offer, and the memories you create together. No matter how successful you are professionally, your true impact will be measured by the lives you touch personally. Living for a legacy means taking the long view. It's about thinking not just about what you want to achieve today, but about the mark you want to leave behind. This perspective helps you prioritize what truly matters and avoid getting caught up in trivial pursuits. When you focus on your legacy, you make decisions that align with your highest values and create a life of meaning and purpose. Building a legacy requires courage, because it often means going against the grain. It means standing up for what you believe in, even when it's unpopular. It means taking risks to pursue your vision, knowing that the rewards may not be immediate but will be lasting. It means staying true to yourself and your principles, even when it's easier to compromise. Your legacy is not about perfection, it's about authenticity. It's not about never making mistakes, but about how you learn from them and grow. It's about being real, being human, and leaving behind a story that others can learn from and be inspired by. In the end, your legacy is the story of your life as told by those who knew you. It's the difference you made, the lessons you taught, and the values you passed on. It's not about how long you lived, but about how deeply you lived. Living to build a legacy means living with intention, with heart, and with a commitment to something greater than yourself. And in doing so, you ensure that your life will echo far beyond your time. In conclusion, greatness lies in doing what the 99% won't, stepping out of comfort zones, embracing failure, taking the road less traveled, owning your uniqueness, turning dreams into action, and building a lasting legacy. Success demands courage, persistence, and authenticity. Dare to be different, dare to take risks, and dare to live a life that inspires others long after you're gone. The choice is yours. Stand out or blend in. Make it count.